It's Friday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's
I
Real
was
Talk.
walking down the road today, looking for another way
to ease my mind
and help my living.
It's Real Talk. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers' Real Talk. I'm here to help you make smarter moves, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on Friday, day 368 in a row of the Real Talk program. And no, I'm not doing a show at 10 o'clock tonight like I usually do. I'm here with you right now. And we're going to get into some things. And I'm going to play a couple songs for you on the beat seat still, but it will just be from here, from the studio, not from home tonight. My man Cross, how you doing, buddy? Happy Friday. So, yeah, usually I'm Friday nights, right? We get the show going. We get like an hour of music, hour and a half of music. I'm going to probably throw in a little extra music for you guys because it is a Friday and I'm not doing a late night show for you. I'm really excited to play this beat seat for you. I don't know if you guys recall, but that's the one I built for a custom job. The wood was sent to us, all hardwood mahogany and flamed maple. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to rock that out for you. And we're right into the beginning of 2020. This is the beginning of a decade. Think big, right? We're not here to just go through our days to just get to tomorrow. We're trying to lay out a game plan for the next 3 to 5 years here. You've got to get the most out of 6 out of these 10 years, at least. If you want to get the best of this decade, you need to be +6, at least. What does that mean? You got to front load the work. I would get into it right now. Get it all done. Find yourself where you want to be as quick as possible. Don't wait. And definitely don't sit back and say, well, it will come to me because I have, or because I'm good at. No, none of that stuff means anything. Your talent is one thing. Your ability to harness that talent you have is the real gift. You know what I find? People with talent actually just rely on that talent so much that they don't work as hard as the ones who have to try to get good. If you could somehow have that same ability, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. It's about your motivation. It's about what you have within you. What drives you? The engine inside of you. Do you have like a little Yugo in there? Are you working with a Lambo? What do you got there? What drivetrain are you working with? Is that 4-cylinder? Or you got a Hemi? Why did I come up with these random, like analogies? Jeff, what's going on, buddy? I see Flixio over here. You guys rock. I appreciate you. And Yunkion, how you doing? Thank you for joining. You guys should be heading over to YouTube, subscribe and ding the bell, because that's where the show goes. My man Cross is over there. You can hang out with Cross. You guys can send me notes from YouTube. So it is crazy 2020. This is going to be a ridiculous decade. I hope you guys know. It's all on our perspective, right? We talked about this earlier. I wanted to get into something today that's going to get a little real estate for you to start the weekend. What can a buyer agent do for you? I actually sat down with clients earlier and we had this conversation. So I thought maybe this is a good one to kind of rehash here on the show. Because when I realized, they said, what is the process? What does the buyer agent do? What are you bringing to the table, like to help us figure out what we're going to do, where we're going, and what house we're going to buy? So I laid it out. We actually laid out a timeline, what you expect when you're getting into a purchase, and what you should be looking for in a good real estate agent. Now, your first step is scouting. You have to determine what you're willing to spend or what you'd like to spend on a home. Don't fall into the trap of spending everything you can spend on a house. You don't want to live house poor where you put everything into a home and you can't enjoy your life. I think it's like a good, safe 25% of what you don't want to be overwhelmed is all I'm telling you, okay? But you figure out what your range is. Now, your real estate agent, the buyer agent that you're working with, should be doing several things for you right from the top. They're going to set you up with an auto drip campaign so you know what's coming on the market every time it hits the market. That's number one. Most people are doing that. A lot of people go on to Zillow. They set their own auto campaign up. That's great. The other thing you're going to do is based on the 4 or 5 criteria details that they give you, you're going to sift through that market and find every available option. First step is to line up, a day to bring them out to see properties. That first day out is so important. There have been maybe a handful of times in my 11 years of real estate that a buyer has gone out the first time and selected a house, and that's the house they bought. Only a handful of times in 11 years. It's a cool thing when it happens. I've also had clients that took 3.5 years to purchase, so there's, a little balance in there. But that first time you go out, you start to understand your client. They start to understand the way you work, the way your mindset is. And are you an alarmist? Are you someone who's going to be supportive, give them good advice, provide value? They get that from that first meeting. I know in general, sellers, I would say, are extremely skeptical, extremely skeptical to commit to a buyer agent. I don't know you. What are you going to do? I don't even know if you're going to do the job. Well, just keep something in mind. First of all, you got to take people on their first impression. If someone shows you their face, at least look at it. My quote today was, show the world your face. No one wants to look at your back. There's a lot of people in this world that are just showing their back. They're like, hey, look at this. I'm like, what the hell is that? Oh, it's my back. Really? You want me to look at your back? No. I'm showing you my face. No. You're showing me your back. Again, this whole human thing. I'm so smart. I got one by Mark. We see it all. You're showing me your back. It's amazing the amount of conversations that lead to an internal thought like, geez, that person's not really showing me who they really are. How many times a day do you have a conversation with someone and that internal reminder of yours kicks in and says, that's not right. What they're saying isn't right. It's making me feel eh. If I feel when you say something, it's because you didn't say something that is truthful. I feel like we build energy when we're honest with each other, and we deteriorate our own, life energy when we're dishonest with those around us. I have a lot of people reach out to me offline and say, well, how do you have so much energy? Where does your energy level come from, Mark? First of all, it comes from just being as truthful to myself as possible. I come out here and I don't have any barriers. I don't fear what's going to come out of my mouth. And I think that's the first step in life. You need to be willing to say whatever is necessary in order to get your point across, but also to let your soul be free. You start stopping those words from being released. You're stopping your soul from breathing. No, I'm walking around. I'm fine. I'm breathing. No, you're breathing. Your soul is depressed inside your body. Just waiting for you to wake up. Wake up. Go out there. Just do one thing selfless tomorrow. One thing that you didn't do today, you never think of doing. Tomorrow, just do it. Just once. And then send me a note and tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell me I'm wrong now. Go out there, affect a positive change with some mind. It could be a minor detail to you. It could be life-changing to another. Nobody's realizing the impact we have on each other. I've had days when I'm in the dirt, I'm in the gutter, and somebody I don't even know walks by and smiles at me. And geez, a human connection. A smile, that energetic smile. We're going to try our thing. We've been doing this lately, right? Sally, how are you? And we got Louise. You guys are awesome. I really would love for you guys to head over to YouTube, subscribe and ding the bell. Ding, 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 because that's where the show goes. It sounds better. It looks better. It's real talk. So check this out. Right now, literally, you guys have iPhone audio. You got an iPhone camera filming my laptop so I can have you see this type of stuff. Like I want to be able to have my graphics show up on the screen and we're going to, get switch cameras, all that stuff. The only way it happens is through my software. And unfortunately, Instagram is like, hey, if you're not vertical, you can't, we don't work. Anyway, hey, Happy New Year, Sally. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're tuning in today. It means a lot. I have to say this one, Phil Hall, always with his quick comments. By the way, my story for today, one of my 2 news stories, comes from my man, Phil. And Phil didn't write this one, but he sent me a really cool story today that I'm going to share with you. But Phil said, go to Hooters. You won't see anyone's back. Phil, you always get me, my friend. Just get me laughing. I'm here trying to do a show. He's getting me laughing in the comments over here. But I think that's part of the show. We should be, interacting with each other. Let's see if we can make Mark laugh. We add to the show. You know how often now I'm getting something cool from Phil? And he's like, hey, by the way, check out this article. And you may have he was like, hey, you may have somebody who may be able to help in this scenario. And my mindset was like, yeah, I thought about someone. But then my sidestep was, this is a great story for Real Talk. So Phil, as you know, my friend, keep sending over those stories. I'll keep using every story Phil sends over. Be like, hey, here's Phil's story for the day. By the way, I have some huge plans for you guys coming up. The news is going to be hosted by somebody else, okay? That's all I'm going to say, okay? It may be somebody who looks a little like me, but it's not me. It's all I'm saying. This show is a variety show. So I started thinking that way. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm like, popping up pictures of people. And I mean, it's going to continue down that road. We're going to do cool stuff like that. But I've got a character I created and I'm going to bring him into Real Talk. It's all I'm saying. It's going to happen and I will bring him out at the right time. But I've been having fun. I've been having a lot of fun. And that's all I'll say for now. Oh, it's Friday, guys. I hope you're starting off 2020 as excited about it as I am. I'm so excited about the prospect of a fresh decade. And how about this whole 2020 thing? Did you think about how February 2nd, 2020 is 02/02/2020? 2020 in reverse? That's going to be a day. That's going to be a really amazing Real Talk day. Don't know what the heck we're going to talk about. Groundhog Day, 2/2/2020. That's a pretty cool thing. That only happens once a century. We got to wait another century to get to 2121. Is that right? 101 years. I don't even know how it works, but it's going to be a while. So, and we had a couple of others like that in the past, like 12/12/12. You guys remember we had that, obviously, and 10/10/10, which was a big one, but this 2020 is awesome. And I got to tell you, there are 13 supermoons in the year of 2020. 13 is my number. 2020, I'm liking this, guys. 2 + 2 is 4. I'm a 413. Okay, I'm just saying. 2020 is the year of Real Talk. Woo! That's what my wife was just, woo! I love that. In the year 2025, that's a good idea. Phil wants me to do a cover of that. I don't know what I'm going to play for you guys today. I got some plans. I'm feeling very energetic, so I think I may have to improvise something for you guys. I don't have any of my pedals, so no fun looping today, but that's fine. We'll do some vocal stuff. We'll get into it. And I think that's basically it. Look, I'm not going to be on super long. I'll do some more music because it is a Friday. I'm just not home. I'm still at the studio. But let's do this. How about this? I'm going to bring us to the news. I got a pretty cool topic for you. This is Phil's story. I got to say thank you to Phil for sharing this one with me. And here we go. Wanted. A home for 3 million records. The archive of contemporary music is losing its space in Tribeca. In a part of Manhattan booming with trendy green high-rises, let's get the music on here, renovated lofts and digital media companies, a hidden trove of musical relics has been growing for over 30 years. Housed in a nondescript building in Tribeca is the Archive of Contemporary Music, a nonprofit founded in 1985. It is one of the largest collections of popular music in the world, with more than 3 million records, as well as music books, vintage memorabilia, and press kits. For point of comparison, the Library of Congress estimates that it holds nearly 3 million sound recordings. That's pretty crazy. Inside of its space on White Street, there are shelves upon shelves upon shelves of vinyl records and CDs. Signed Johnny Cash records hang close to nearly 1,800 other signed albums. There are big boxes of big band recordings, world music and jazz, and original soundtracks. Most of the inventory is stored in the basement below. Notably, the archive, which still receives about 250,000 recordings a year, is home to a majority of Keith Richards' extensive blues collection. Mr. Richards of the Rolling Stones sits on board of advisors. That's pretty cool. And you guys know I don't read these stories before getting them into them. I did read this one today because it's close to my heart. Rent in the neighborhood has continued to rise, challenging the organization to stay on budget, said Bob George, the founder and director of the archive. Recently, Mr. George reached an agreement with his landlord to get out of the lease early. He has until June to find another space. We were running $100,000 in debt, Mr. George said. I've never been in debt over 35 years. But over these last 3 years, it's just become overwhelming. For the past few decades, researchers, writers, and filmmakers have used the archive to find both common and obscure recordings and inspiration in general. For instance, the music supervisor for the Ang Lee film Taking Woodstock found the archives indispensable when they were searching for recordings of Bert Sommer, a lesser-known Woodstock act. Never heard of Sommer myself. Although Mr. George has paid off the archive's debts, he is still focused on finding an affordable space, preferably in New York. That's going to be tough. But without crucial support from donors and cultural institutions like the city's Department of Cultural Affairs, finding a new location will be challenging. So listen, I don't know how we help. I had a place in mind, but I don't think they could fit 3 million records in there, to be honest. But this is crazy. Since 1980, he started this in 1980. He brought his own 47,000 albums into the, archive. And since then, donors and board members have included David Bowie, Lou Reed, and Paul Simon, as well as Jonathan Demme, I don't even know how you say that, and Martin Scorsese. I know how you say that. The Scores. I don't know if you call them that. I just called them that. The Scores. So let's see. Guys, I got to figure that some of the record companies, movie studios have space for this archive. Like, you don't want to lose this. They talked about a great fire that happened, I sort of recall, 2008. Let's see. They talked about this. Tragedies like the Universal Studios fire in Hollywood that destroyed a stockpile of master tapes, including Duke Ellington records, Chuck Berry sessions, and virtually all of Buddy Holly's master tapes. So we don't want a situation like that where these amazing songs are lost to time. So thank you, Phil Hall, for sending me that story. You are the man. Keep sending them over, my friend. And this one I have for you is crazy. Check this out. I can't even believe this one myself. Where are we? Does this work? There we go. So, I can't even believe this one myself. Ready? I cannot even believe this one. Dr. Phil's dining room has 12 guns mounted on the wall. What? All right, so we're going to have to get into a little Dr. Phil. We're going to have him on the show here, okay? And see what he has to say about this accusation, so to speak. It's really not an accusation. His house is on the market. Dr. Phil's Beverly Hills home has hit the market for $5.75 million. And for someone who's making a living analyzing other people's brains and behaviors, his interiors are nothing short of bizarre. From the outside, the house looks like a typical SoCal mansion extraordinaire. It features a flagstone patio, luxe in-ground heated pool, spa, outdoor kitchen, and freshly manicured hedges and greenery. But step inside the home, which is currently occupied by his son Jordan, and normalcy flies out the door. Twisted tree trunks, abstract creatures, fierce animal patterns and figures, and spontaneous pops of color and curse words are just a few of the motifs in this 6,170 square foot home. Let's see what we got. In the entryway of the Philip McGraw home lies an eggplant-colored hanging chair with a shell that resembles intertwined tree branches. Continued into the foyer, you'll be greeted by an eerie-looking, sweeping staircase, with the railings looking like tangly, somewhat bedeviled tree branches. I'm reading this in real time, just so you know. Below the staircase lives a home bar, speckled like a cheetah, with blue underlights. The stools take their tree trunk stumps and are equipped with antler-like backrests. Other novel eccentric fixtures garnish the room like what appears to be teddy bears of sorts and hanging from a plump, rosy pair of lips. A little odd to me. The playroom has a frosty Arctic feel. I mean, listen, obviously, this guy said, Dr. Phil's house looks like it was designed by a serial killer. Oh my goodness. Then someone said, tell me some things you like. Dr. Phil, shooting, bears, big old animal horns. And the word, oh, I guess he says the F word, this guy, which I didn't realize he did that. Anyway, I thought it would be a good idea to have Dr. Phil on to just get his impressions on all this feedback. He's getting 12 guns on the wall. I mean, can you guys see this photo over here? Check this out. Holy cow. Look at this. Can I zoom in? No, I guess I can't, but let me look at this. Is just a little bit of what you're seeing here. That is his house. A little odd, right? Look at, there's that one with the antlers going up the staircase over there. Holy cow. So I just wanted to see if Dr. Phil will come on the air with us and maybe he could just share a couple of things he's thinking, maybe a couple of, like who is his designer, first of all. I want to find out who he had designed this house. Because it's insanity. Complete insanity. Dr. Phil, are you with us today? Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, are you with us currently on the line? It's Mark Pyer's Real Talk. Dr. Phil, hello. Hi, it's Dr. Phil. How you doing? Doing great, Dr. Phil. I just was curious if you could fill us in on this story that is in Yahoo today about your insane dining room with 8 guns, 12 guns on the wall. How many guns do you have on the wall? I have 12 guns on my wall. I have 12 guns. It's within my rights to have as many guns as I'd like to have. If anybody knew the amount of actual snail mail that Dr. Phil gets, you'd understand why I have 12 on the wall and not 4. That's fantastic, Dr. Phil. I really appreciate you giving us your input on that, but it seems a little insane, right? I don't think it's insane at all. This is America. No, I know it's America. You don't have to tell me I live here. I think I do. No, you really don't, Dr. Phil. Just tell me, how do you think anybody's going to buy this house with 12 guns on the wall? Why didn't you just take the guns off the wall? Because I like guns. No, I get it, but I mean, seriously, don't you think you're trying to sell a house, Dr. Phil. Something I tell my sellers is you want people looking at your house, not at your stuff. You know what I mean? Well, I want them looking at my stuff when they're looking at my house. No, I get that. I get it. No, I totally do. But, Dr. Phil, you're trying to reach the deepest pool of qualified buyers. Don't you understand? You can't do that if you have 12 guns on the wall. I don't know. I beg to differ. Look, guys, what do you guys think about this? Is this crazy or what, Dr. Phil? I mean, huh? What is he thinking? You can't have 12 guns on the... Dr. Phil, are you still there? Dr. Phil, of course I'm still here. Who has a problem with my 12 guns? I have a problem with 12 guns on the wall. Who needs 12 guns? It looks like one of those is an assault rifle. At least one. Oh, I got 5 assault rifles. I never know if I can't hit them on the first shot. Dr. Phil, there's a serious problem in this country right now with people that are, using their parents' guns and doing really awful things. Terrible things. And you've got them all over your wall? This is America. I like to have guns. I like to shoot things. And if anyone comes near my house, I'm going to shoot them. I'm in Beverly Hills, but I need 12 guns. Dr. Phil. Listen, I got to say, I'm glad to have Dr. Phil on the show. Look, I'm just thrilled. But I think he's a little crazy, guys. 12? Nobody needs 12 guns. Holy cow. Look, I am not getting through to him. He's going to continue on his narrative, this whole thing, like, ooh, yeah, I need 12. Who needs 12 guns? I have 0 guns. Okay? Just these guns over here. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, Dr. Phil, 12 guns on the wall and swears all over the place. I guess when you're helping people, you can do whatever the heck you want. What do you guys think of Dr. Phil being on the show? Should we have him on more often? I don't know. I think we should have him on more often. So that's basically it for the news today, guys. I didn't have a ton for you. We just had Dr. Phil come in for a few minutes. Just wanted him to share a little something. Phil's over here. My buddy Phil is laughing at, I think he's laughing at Dr. Phil, who came on today to the Real Talk program for the first time. Look, this is the variety show. We're going to have all kinds of celebrities on this show. Dr. Phil, Donald Trump. We're going to have Obama, Bernie Sanders. I had some other people here. I don't know what happened to them. They were here and they just didn't call in today, apparently. But sometimes we'll have others call in. Like, did you guys remember that time that this guy called in? Oh my goodness. This was crazy. When he called in, I don't know what I'm doing in the background, but when he called in, that was the craziest of them all. This isn't going to work anymore, I don't think, because I moved the other thing. Hello? It's not going to work because I moved the other thing. But when he called in, that was crazy. No. What are you doing? You have me on the show. I talk to you about your elections. If I ran for election in the United States, I would win every time. Oh my God, get me off screen. Oh, we got to get rid of this editor over here. He's terrible. He's terrible. Anyway, look, Putin's going to come on. We're going to have all kinds of people on the program. In fact, what I would suggest is you start challenging me. Hey, Mark, I want to see you bring Owen Wilson on the show. I want to see Richard Dreyfuss on the show. Bob, I don't want Bob for dinner, Faye. Who has not seen What About Bob? That is basically dead on Richard Dreyfuss. He's like, Faye, I don't want Bob for dinner, Faye. I don't treat patients on vacation, Bob. Dr. Marvin, Dr. Leo Marvin, Dr. Marvin. It's one of the best movies. If you guys have not seen What About Bob, where have you been? That's like top 10. You liked Putin better. Well, Putin is very, he's not putting in the time. He's what the problem with Putin. He's not putting in the time, okay? He's kind of calling it in now, right? I mean, he's like, look, I'm worth $50 billion. I don't have to put in the time anymore. I not put in the time. I'll just be Vladimir. People say, hey, Vladimir Putin. I said, no, I don't feel like putting in the time anymore. I'm over it. For now, I sit back and watch America implode. It's very fun. I sit here on my iron palace and I look back and see America implode. Yeah, I don't even need to do a thing. I don't even have to be putting in any effort. They do it to themselves. How crazy is this? Hey, but one good thing this happened from all of this implosion is Real Talk was born. How about that? I actually think about that. If the negativity of this world didn't exist, if the Democrats and the Republicans weren't so ridiculous the way they're acting in this world, Real Talk wouldn't exist. I wouldn't have felt like I need to be the light for this ridiculous planet. And I'd say that because the internet has gotten so out of hand and the fake news and just like people say stuff and without any research, everyone believes what's said and it's a problem. And I think it's true. The rest of the world, the Vladimir Putins of the world are looking at us and they're laughing. They're not laughing because they're saying, oh, that one's a bonehead or that one's a bonehead. They're saying they're all boneheads. They're watching us act like children. I don't want to take an idea from my brother-in-law, but he said something that blew my mind. He said it's the juvenilization of society. I said, holy cow. Think about that. We're all acting like children. Oh, he said this. She said that. I'm going to go cry. Oh, what is going on out there? This is why we need comedy relief. This is why we need to stop thinking about it all, because it's the same. Do you guys know what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Look at America from 2016 to today. Every single day since the last election, you have one side trying to get the president out of office and a guy not even able to do his job because of that. I mean, that's what I see. I'm out of politics. Every time there's a president in, I respect the president. That's the job of the land. Voted in by the people. It happened. Move forward, let it happen. Let someone do their job, and then afterwards you can look at what the results were and what they accomplished. But to try to put roadblocks up every step of the way since 2016, it's the definition of insanity. I don't get it. And all it's done is created just this implosion. It's like civil war. It's a scary, scary time. You can't have a conversation anymore because you don't know if you're going to offend anybody. I had a friend, my friend came in the other day. He goes, wow, you know what? Yeah, you can't say anything anymore. No matter what you say, someone's offended. And I pegged it to a specific time. I don't know if you guys remember this, 2001. We saw two icons in America tumble to the ground. Thousands of people close to some of us. I had friends that did not make it out of that building, out of one building or the other, the Twin Towers. Within weeks, the plan was to retaliate. So we created this thing called like Operation Infinite Justice, whatever it was called. I forget what it was called. I think it was called Operation Iraqi Freedom, something like that, okay? All of a sudden, some small group of like 20 people here in America, maybe it was 100 people, maybe it was 1,000, I don't care. They came out and said, it's offensive. The United States is being racist because they called it this thing, and guess what we did as a country? We changed the name. That was when I realized we are screwed as a country. When we start listening to the opinions of a small group of people instead of doing what's right for the heart and soul of this nation, it becomes a problem. I'm not interested in you pandering to this 1, 2, or 10, or 1,000, or 50 people, 500 people, 5,000 people. I want you to care about the nation as a whole. Remember, those small groups are all out of their minds. Why do you think they're 50 people? Why do you think it's a group of 100? Because everybody else thinks they're nuts. Oh, we got to change the name. We just offended 100 people. Ooh, they just knocked down 2 of our buildings and killed 3,000 people. You're going to change the name? But they did. They gave in. And from that point, 2001 to today, it's been 19 years, and we have just dug ourselves deeper into what I call the PCU hole. You guys remember PCU with Jeremy Piven? It was a funny movie back in the 90s when we watched it. And then we are now living PCU. Go watch that movie tonight. It's probably free. You can probably get it on YouTube. Go on, subscribe and ding the bell on YouTube for my page, and then just type in PCU. I'm sure you'll find it. Jeremy Piven poking fun at how sensitive people are at PCU. Blood is murder. Fur is murder. Do you guys remember this? Oh my goodness. Everybody is protesting. The entire school is a protester. And guess what? It's like a prognostication of 20 years into the future. They're all laughing when they made it. They're like, guess what? You guys are really going to do this. You guys are really going to be this ridiculous. It happened. It's now. That's why when we turn the corner to 2020, I say we shut it all down, guys. Can't we restart? Can't we shut down this whole participation trophy era? Can't we just start fresh? I don't want my kids to think they're great at everything. I don't want them to think that everything they do is going to turn into money, turn into gold, turn into wealth, success. I want them to understand they're terrible at a lot of stuff. The sooner they know what they can do, the better their chances of actually doing it. Don't confuse our kids further. Oh, you're great at everything. Just go out into the world, Tommy. You'll figure it out. Really? Kid's 55 years old. He's trying to figure out what the hell he's doing with his life. What am I doing? I'm still working that job, trying to figure out where my heart and soul really is. Try it all. From like 15 on, you should be trying everything. I'm terrible at that. I was pretty good at that. I may come back to it. I'm going to go do that now. Keep going. Because you're not going to figure it out. I heard something amazing the other day. So you only figure it out when you dismiss all the other options. It's such a small group of things that you are amazing at. You have to go through all of the others and dismiss them before you could start narrowing down your actual path. Does this make sense? We're all doing the same thing. I'm not any different than you. We're all waking up in the morning, going through our day, going to sleep, waking up the next day, and we start all over. Different set of clients, different set of situations, but it's repetitive. You have to shift. You have to change something. Especially if you didn't like the way yesterday went, you know it's going to be the same tomorrow. This whole life is about you recognizing that your moments matter, and the only way you get anywhere is by recognizing that it happens now. It happens right now. It's not planning for it. Oh, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to do it. Oh, I'm going to go and call that client. Ooh, I'm going to go knock on that door. Well, when? I'm going to do it. I've set my mind on it. I'm going to do it. You'll never do it unless you go and do it right now. When you're thinking about it is when you should act. That's your intuition kicking you in the butt, saying, go, Mark, go now. Because, by the way, if you do it later, it may be a no. This may be your only yes. Your intuition may be driving you towards your only yes. Think about that for a second. I believe we have this psychic intuition for things. We all have it. Each and every one of us have a connection to something. It may be to another human being. It may be to a business opportunity. There is a connection there. We see it, we feel it, we know it's there. I think that's a factual thing. We all have that. This connection. Mike, you're the man. Thank you, buddy. Michael, too. You guys are the best. I love when I got my people on supporting the show. And I hope you guys didn't mind my Dr. Phil, because having him on the show is pretty cool today. But I would like to do more people. I want to get other people on. You guys just have to tell me who you want to see. Who are you interested in seeing on the Real Talk program? I have some invitations out, by the way, guys, for interviews. I'm going to be interviewing people. I told you it's going to be at least once a week. Right now, I got to catch up. I'm way behind. It's the first week. I don't have anybody on yet. Cool today. Oh, hold on. I got to shut this off. I would like to do more. There we go. I wanted to make sure I'm here so I could see any comments that come through over here. You guys on Insta or on Facebook rock. Instagram, you guys rock. Twitch. I got a new one on today, guys. This is cool. Smashcast. How about that? Never been on Smashcast before, but I found it yesterday, and I was like, I'll add you into the Twitch feed, into the Restream feed. So now we're on 10 social media platforms at the same time. And I'm going to get into some music for you guys. We are here. It is Friday. It's sort of Friday night, 7:15. I'm just not doing a 10:30 show for you like I usually do. But I do think it's about time for me to break forth that rhythm and the rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Is that Marky Mark? I forget. What do we got over here? Oh, I need to turn on the music. All right. Let's get this turned so I can hear myself a bit. All right, how's that? How is that? That's okay. Can you guys hear me? You should be able to, because I can hear me. That's the first step. It's usually, if I can hear me, then it means you can hear me. to play something. I got to turn this up. That should be better. Check. Much better. All right, I'm going to play you guys the first song I ever wrote. I was an 18-year-old kid living in New Haven, Connecticut. And I came up with this song called I don't even know what it's called right now. Rescue Me? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's bringing back some memories. Down and out, I ask myself why I see this world this way. I ask myself why I'm the way I am. I ask myself. I ask myself why I am the way I am. Again, is loneliness my friend? Is loneliness my friend? Trying to tell me that I'm down. I'm down and out, down, da 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 do da do. Down and out. I ask myself. Obviously, she didn't get the note that I'm going to do the show now instead of tonight. I ask myself why I am the way I am. I ask myself why I am the way I am. I ask myself. Again, is loneliness my friend? Loneliness my friend, trying to tell me that I'm down, down and out. It's the first one I ever wrote, and great to get a phone call right in the middle of it. I'm going to play another one to redeem. Come on. Give me a B. There we go. Give me an E. There we go. Thanks for coming out.
That's right, mama. That's right for you. That's right, mama, baby. Any way you do, that's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, mama. Any way you do. Mama, she done told me. Papa done told me too. Son, that girl you're fooling with, she ain't no good for you. That's alright. That's alright. Well, that's alright now, mama. Any way you do. Any way you do, yeah. That's alright now, mama. Any way you do. I'm leaving town, mama. Leaving town for sure. You won't be bothering with me, hanging around your door, but that's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, mama. Any way you do.
There's a little Johnny Cash for you. No, that was Elvis. That's Elvis. Don't get fresh. That's Elvis.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. No, no. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Oh, you should listen, pretty baby. Don't you treat me this way. I'll be back on my feet someday. It don't matter if you do. Just understood. You ain't got no money. You just ain't no good. Guess if you say so. Got to pack my bags and go. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. No, no. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hit the road, Jack. Well, don't you come back no more. Well, don't you come back no more. No more. Well, don't you come back no more. No more. Well, don't you come back no more. No more. Well, don't you come back no more. Hit the road, hit the road. Hit the road, 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 Jack. Don't you come back no more. Well, of course, until tomorrow. For SNL on the Real Talk. Oh, we're gonna get down on the Real Talk tomorrow night, yeah. SNL, who's tuning in to you know, no. Hit the road, hit the road, hit the road, hit the road,
I love just having fun vocally at the end. It's always fun. Who's on with me still? Who's here for the rest of the show? For the countdown? What do we got here? 52 minutes. Guys, this is a short show. By the typical, it's a short show. Oh, thank you so much, Patience. You rock. Thank you so much, Patience. I gotta tell you, it means a lot. Oh yeah, that was the first song I wrote. I gotta, you know what? Every day is a song, but you guys have to tell me what you're feeling. Be like, hey, I want to hear some jazz today, or I want to hear blues, or I want to hear a pop song. Or can you play Maroon 5? Whatever. Just shoot me a note. You know I'll do it for you. Karen! Karen, Karen rocks. You rock, Karen. Thank you so much for saying hello, for shooting some extra Happy New Year's celebratory, what are those things called? I guess it looks like fireworks, really. So we have been here for 368 days in a row. Can you believe that? We're just about to do an hour for the 368th time in a row. And it's not like we are running out of ideas or content. I mean, we had on, did you guys see this for the first time ever? This is crazy. He may be willing to come back on the air again. Did you guys see this? I mean, we had him on. Hey, Dr. Phil, are you still here? Dr. Phil, can you hear me? Of course I can hear you. Mark, it's Dr. Phil. How you doing? See, when we get Dr. Phil on, guys, it's all bets are off. If you saw at his house, Dr. Phil, can you tell us again, what is your mentality for having 12 guns in your dining room? I need 12 guns because I'm Dr. Phil. That's Dr. Phil for you guys. So he just happened to show up today, and it's the first time we had him on the show. And like I said, whoever you want to have on the program, just shoot me a note. Send me a DM. You're embarrassed to say at the bottom of the screen that you want to have Richard Dreyfuss on, or you want to have Jack Nicholson, or you want to have Owen Wilson or Christopher Walken or Al Pacino. You could shoot me a little DM. Say, hey, maybe tomorrow you can do the news as... I'm up for it. Just let me know. We'll give it a shot. Maybe I could do the news as Dr. Phil. Today we got a warning in the Midwest. Yeah, you do. It's that you have 12 guns on your wall. What's the deal with the 12 guns on the wall, Dr. Phil? Well, I need to have protection. I guess you do. I really love doing impressions, if you can't tell. So shoot me some options, because my impressions are like old people. I just do like Christopher Walken, is like an old actor now. Al Pacino from Scarface. That's like, oh, I haven't stayed active with the impressions. So we're going to be doing that as part of this variety show. Okay. And I'm just pumped about year 2, guys. Interviewing people, taking this to the next level, getting in front of people. That's part of this next year. I hope you guys understand that. It's not just me broadcasting live on YouTube. It will be live on YouTube, but it will be also with hundreds of people around us and on YouTube. So that's this year. This year, I'm coming out of my shell. You'd be like, yeah, right. Shell, you were live for 368. Yeah, I know. But here, I'm here in my studio. I want to be out there with you. I want to shake hands. I want to get a chance to look at you, okay? Make eye contact with you. Have that moment where you have the imprint. You guys know what I'm talking about? I have this thing I call the imprint. Like when I shake someone's hand for the first time, I am imprinting their face in this brain of mine. Names I forget. I forget names like crazy. But faces, I imprint them and they're there forever. And I can't wait to meet somebody and just shake their hand and make that eye contact and imprint. Just thought about it for the first time, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm very much looking forward to that. And having somebody ask me in real time, hey, Mark, what do you think of this? So I could just let real talk happen. That's what we're here to do. Got to let the moment take you everywhere. And don't ever lose hope. Don't ever lose faith in yourself. So my buddy just popped on, and I want to send this message to him because I saw a note he put out the other day, and it crushed me. There's always a tomorrow, and you will look back on this day, no matter how bad it is. You will look back at this day one day with gratitude that you had the strength to keep on going and not let yourself succumb. This is what we all have to tell ourselves when we're feeling at our lowest. We have to tell ourselves there is a tomorrow. It could get worse, but it's definitely going to get better. I will look back at this moment one day, and I will have gratitude that I continued past this moment. I will not let it stop me. I will not let it take me out of me. I will not lose my way. I will not lose my life. I've been seeing so many people that are just giving up. They're giving up. And you don't know what tomorrow holds. It could be the worst day in history, but you may have the greatest day in history still 30 days from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now. You don't know until you go through the pain. Uh-oh, something just happened. Oh. You won't know unless you feel the pain and you go through it like a freight train. Feel it. Let it just envelop you. It will push you in the right direction, and you will grow from that pain. It's just like every other failure. Pain, failure, it's all the same thing. My man Brad, what's going on, my friend? That's it. Yes, 2020 is our year to meet. Brad, you are right, my friend. We are going to be doing some real talk and some 5P movement live for sure. This is happening this year. This year, I don't know how and where and when, but I see it already. I see myself on the stage. Just don't know what stage it is. I have no idea where I am, which city. Don't know who's there, but I know it's happening this year. I know it. And we just lost our Insta people. We just went to an hour. Officially in an hour. You guys know what happens here when I start the show every day? The first 30 seconds are on Instagram. It's like a private moment with my Instagram peeps. Because they're filming the screen. They're watching this thing. So I always have to start that before I go live with you. And I just talk to them for a few minutes. I'm like, guys, look, I love you. Head over to YouTube and subscribe to the Ding the Bell because this is a crap feed now. I feel bad, but really the Instagram feed is the worst feed in history because I'm filming it and it's audio that's not even good. But I got to keep the opportunity for anybody on Instagram to see the show open. So I'm going to continue to film the show from my phone on a daily basis and remind people that the show is really on YouTube now. And look, all I could ask you to do is head over and subscribe, ding the bell. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's SNL. We're going to get crazy. I'm rocking out for you for at least an hour and a half tomorrow night. I'm just telling you now, get ready for it. Subscribe, ding the bell, because when you do that, it notifies you when I'm live. I think that's a really cool thing. So before I get going, anybody have a topic you want me to hit? Because if not, I'm going to pack up my gear and bring it home for tomorrow's show. That's right. I'm not going to do a midday show tomorrow. I will just be tomorrow night SNL. But I'm happy to take any other questions while I'm still live. So shoot me a note, shoot me a question, let me know. Shoot me an impression. What do you want to hear? I'm happy to get into it. Let's see. I'm not seeing any notes or comments, so I think I'm going to probably call it a day, guys. Oh, Brad's saying he's going to come down. Brad, I might come up there, my friend, because you know I got to go meet Rick and the Lagina brothers, my Curse of Oak Island people. Like, I don't know when the next Curse of Oak Island is. It was supposed to be on yesterday, I thought. Wasn't on. That's the only show. That is the only show for the Real Talk program. I would love to meet those guys, have them on this program, just to let them know I only watch your show. I shut off TV on December 31st, 2018, and the only thing I'll turn it on for is maybe to watch a couple minutes of golf, the Giants, the Yankees, and the Curse of Oak Island. Besides that, it's over. I am done with the TV. Who the heck has time for that negativity anymore? Let's just build our own positivity here on Real Talk. That's what we're going to do every day forever. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Brad said you're going to have me up. Listen, don't taunt me. If I didn't have 3 kids and a wife, I would come up for sure to see you, my friend. But I'm going to go where they hire me to go to get on stage and speak to a crowd and inspire. it's happening. I don't know who's going to be the first one to call me on it, but I'm ready to come out, guys. Shoot me a note. You can go to my website and book me. I'll see you tomorrow. It's Mark Pyers. It's Real Talk.